Okay, so on my website, there is a calculator. I'd say go get, because that will
Okay.
help you, and it's
Okay.
free.
Okay.
I'm going to share this. I'm going to show you the difference between a novation and a wholesale.
Okay.
Have you got any deals you're working right now?
No, I don't have any. I just started today with the VA. Just
Okay.
started today with the VA. I didn't know if you had any type of JV opportunities with you, just until I can, pay for you completely, one on one.
Nope, I
But
get it.
yeah,
So in this calculator that you're seeing here,
yeah.
because the first thing that my guys do in office is they look to take it down with a sub 2, okay, and look for cash
Okay.
flow. The next thing they look at seller finance, and then they look at what they call a hybrid, which means you're going to use both of these, okay,
Hmm.
or we'll just do a straight cash deal. And when I do a cash deal, what that means is I'm going to turn around and typically use private money,
Hmm.
and I'm just going to buy it cash, and then I'm going to we'll let it season for 6 months to a year, and then I'm going to do a DSCR loan and
Hmm.
get a 30-year fixed mortgage on it. That's all done in this calculator right here. Okay.
Okay.
We try to make this, I call it, well, another guy, I took it from him, McDonaldize it. Okay. Make it very systematic so it's very, excuse me, simple to do. Number one, this calculator right here in the middle, all you're doing is this is going to get you the big four, and you're going to find out how fast or what your average ARV is. Okay.
Okay.
You're going to use Zillow, Redfin. REI is actually PropStream. RPR is actually a nationwide MLS. Most people don't have it. That's fine. Use realtor.com is fine. Okay.
Okay.
I would highly suggest getting PropStreams. PropStream's really good.
Okay.
You can also get PropWire. PropWire, I think right now is free
Yeah.
through Jerry Norton. Okay,
Yeah.
that works pretty decent too.
Okay.
But the first thing my guys do is when they're on the telephone with a client is they're going to run these top four and get an average ARV. Okay, so I'm just going to do something very quick here. Okay, so you'll see it came out at 247. Okay, so with this, the first thing it's going to do is tell me, okay, if the place was to 2025 standards, this is what it's going to be worth out on the market. Okay.
Mm.
I haven't done any manual comps at all. I'm just on the telephone with the client, analyzing the deal as fast as I can. Okay.
Hmm.
Now you'll see right here, you have a manual area for ARV. That's when you do your deep dive and you actually take your manual comps in the area and you're looking at like properties. So if it's a 1990s build, you need to be looking at 1990 builds that have not been rehabbed yet. And that's where you come in with your manual comp. Okay. But
Hmm.
just to move a little further, I'm not going to go through this part of the calculator with you right now because that
Hmm.
gets a little more complicated. But I am going to come over here to the Novation one. So if I'm looking at this area here and I have a person on the telephone and I see that the lowest for that particular house in that area is 240,000. What do I think I can sell this house for? And let's say the house has been somewhat rehabbed, so it doesn't need a full it just needs lipstick, okay, maybe paint and carpet, things like that. Doesn't need a new kitchen or anything like that. I want to be the lowest price in the area, so I might come in here at $235,000. So whoops. So this area right here is going to be at 235. That's what I think I can sell that house for if I list it with a realtor in the area.
Okay.
Okay. With that, the way this calculator reads, I'm going to be paying 6% commissions to both the listing agent and the buying agent. I'm probably going to be paying 3% concessions, which means I'm going to be helping the seller. I'm sorry, I'm going to be helping the buyer with their closing costs. Okay.
Okay.
It could be a part of a down payment. It could be their title insurance, whatever. I'm going to be paying that. Because I'm doing it with a novation, I am going to have some closing costs. So I usually put in $2,000 worth of closing costs, and I put in $5,000 worth of repair. Now, I may or may not have to do this repair. It depends. Now, if somebody gets an FHA loan or a VA loan, the appraiser may come through and say, well, you got to fix this and this before the loan will go through. So I already calculate that in that, okay, I may have to pay that. So this 5,000 and this 7,000 is kind of a slush fund. That's an extra
Hmm.
$12,000 there that I may or may not have to pay. Okay, makes
Mm-hmm.
sense?
Makes sense.
So this profit margin down here, I want this to be a minimum of $30,000 all the time. That's what my staff runs under. So working it backwards, if I offer $200,000, that's not enough. I only make $6,800. So I'm going to have to go less than that. What if I do 180? I'm making 26,000. Okay, I'm getting a little closer. So now let's go 75. Now I'm at 31. Okay, I can come up a little bit, Mr. Seller. I can come up to 176. Okay, now I'm at 30,800.
Okay.
That's how fast it took me to analyze that deal. So by looking at this, by taking the top four, I know that if I want to make $30,000, I think I can sell it with a Novation for 135 because I am the lowest in the market. Okay, lowest in the area. I have to offer that seller $176,000.
Wow.
Okay. Now let's take it one step further. Here's what I really want to show you. The bottom part of this calculator is for wholesale. Okay. I'm just going to say that this property is 1,700 square feet because it's a cheaper property.
Mm-hmm.
It needs $10 a square foot, so it needs $17,000 worth of rehab. That's usually paint, carpet, maybe a little bit extra. Let me come down on that because I don't really want that much in there. Let's say it needs $13,000. Okay, that's carpet and paint. Okay.
Okay.
Pretty quick and easy. I still have the top four here, still telling me the average is 247. And with this, that's probably about right because it's still just a lipstick. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we go over here, and the first thing a wholesaler wants to do is they want to make sure that their person they're selling it to, the actual flipper, is going to make money. So over here, I already put in that the flipper has to pay a commission to their realtor, has to pay typically their closing cost of 2%. So which means they typically want to make after that about 20% profit. So 20% profit on $247,000. My head is not working today because I got sick yesterday. Times by 2. It's about $50,000. Okay. So I'm going to change this number up here, and it's the only number you can change. That's not enough. Let's go 65. Let's go 67. Okay, so 48. We're going to say that seller is going to make the flipper is going to make $48,000. Okay, so then you can come back over here and say, well, I still want to make $30,000. So you can either buy it at 50% of retail, 60 or 70, and you can change these percentages if you want to. But to make it even with this, if you look, it's 30,850, 30,009. I would have to buy that same property for $134,000. Now, which do you think would be easier to convince that seller of?
Novation. It's a Novation. Novation.
All day long, sir.
All day long. All day long. Novation will entice them more than a wholesale deal right now.
You got it. Now you got to know how to do novations.
Yes.
But this is how much faster this out. How fast did that take me to analyze that with you on the telephone with me?
Not too long.
Not long. Okay. So all of my acquisition guys use this day in and day out.
And they get more Novation deals than they get wholesale deals.
We do probably 97, 98% Novations, 1 or 2% wholesale.
Oh my gosh.
And I've never been a wholesaler. So my whole company is built about buy and hold. I want the mailbox money. I want 7 paydays. I don't want 1. So even in my PPC, I have one campaign that's strictly buy and hold because I get paid more money. I make more money. I build wealth. And I have another campaign that's strictly for novations because that's how my guys get paid here. They want the high assignment fees of that $30,000. They want their percentage off of that. That's how they really get paid good. So I run 2 separate businesses basically. But everything that we do, we always look right up front as how do we do this first? How can we buy and hold? Because my guys get paid pretty good for giving me a buy and hold. Plus, I can close very quickly. I usually close in 20 days if I'm buying and holding it. Okay. So my guys get paid out faster using this calculator. That's a whole another conversation.
Wow.
Okay. And again, this is very simple to use. And there's actually, if you go on, there's tutorials on how to use that calculator.
Okay.
But I just wanted to show you that. So you really need to get proficient of Novations, download this calculator and start using it because it does work very well. We've pretty much perfected this damn thing to make it work real quick and easy.
Yeah.
And it's free. Okay.
Okay.
So that'll help you a ton.
Thank you. Thank you.